What's going on, Disrupt family? Online Einstein here, Gregory Pierre-Louis, your favorite best-selling author, celebrity online marketing expert. I'm just gonna give a couple more people time to get onto the workshop, and I'm gonna set myself up here. My phone on silent. And I'd advise you to do the same if you can. Put your phone on silent, get rid of all distractions, turn off the TV, what have you. Give people maybe another minute or two to get onto the workshop this Saturday afternoon. I appreciate you guys, man, taking the time out to learn something new, right? Through LEARNLIFE University. Man, oh man, I can't imagine what's going on at the regional event in Houston with this new launch, the new product launch, man. I'm excited. I hope you guys are just as excited as me. Looks like I got a couple people coming on here. Awesome. So I'm gonna go ahead and just set myself up, guys. You get yourself comfortable. I got a handy dandy thunder bolt. Always make sure to have one of these energy drinks with me. Keeps me up, naturally, without all that extra BS. Oh, man. All right. Don't mind me, guys. I'm just making sure I'm all set up. My Facebook's off. Because as I deliver this value to you guys, because you're going to learn life today. I don't want no distractions, I strongly believe that the things that I say are valuable, and I hope you guys take it just as serious as me. Usually during presentations and stuff, I tell people to turn their phones off, and I actually do get mad if a phone does ring or something. I know emergencies do happen, but most of the time it's just negligence. And when you're taking your life for something serious, and you're investing your time really into listening to somebody deliver value to you, you should get rid of all distractions. So that's why I said that. All right. Cool. So I do have a couple of you guys on, and I'm pretty happy about that. I know that this past week I got a group of you guys together, which is pretty cool. Not everybody was really invited to see the material that I had created, right? So I got a small group of you guys together to get a first glance at what I put together for the storytelling workshop, right? And it's because I wanted genuine opinions, right? I wanted genuine opinions on what you guys thought about what I put together, the formula that I created, the step-by-step. And a lot of people don't even know what the hell I'm talking about, and that's okay, because I'm gonna teach you that on this workshop here today. But for those people that did get the emails or that got the workbook that I created, it was up to you to complete the workbook. I gave specific instructions in the email to get back to me once you've completed what seems to be a 3 to 5 minute exercise. I laid everything out, and really nobody got back to me, man. It's a damn shame. I'm not the one that loses out. You are, and you're creating what I like to call a time gap between where you are now and your success, really, man. The quicker you guys hopped on the formula that I gave you, right, to put together your story, which is unique and nobody else has it, right? Now you're talking about an asset that you have, right? It's like something that you just added to your marketing arsenal, your story. Once you learn how to put your story together, it's powerful, man. And it's something that you should take serious. And I hope that, by me just talking to you now, you see how serious you should be taking it, because you're holding yourself back, right? You're holding yourself back by not letting people know how passionate you are, and not letting people know the happenings of your life, not letting people know exactly what got you to where you are today, what made you make the decision, right, to be here with Disrupt, to be part of this Disrupt family, right? There's a story to each and every one of us, guys. And I just think, it was important for you guys to do that. I would have given you the opportunity to be here with me today, actually, to deliver your story here today, right? And that's big, Now I would have given you some shine, you would have gotten some time to talk to the audience, right? To talk to this market and added something to your marketing arsenal. Now you could share something with a prospect when they say, hey, what is this disrupt thing that you're a part of? Hey man, take a look at this this workshop that I was on. I shared a story. I'd really like you to hear about it. And now there's a deeper connection with you and that prospect. Just to give you an idea of what we could do with stories, right? But being that I have nobody here that can genuinely and authentically share their story, I guess I'll just jump straight into this, guys, right? So, what's your story? Let me take a sip of this before I start. Once I get really inspired and passionate about this, I can go on and on and on. And I tend to get real parched, so I'm just hydrating, preparing myself. Bear with me. But guys, like I said, what's your story, right? This is going to be more of a workshop, like I said, than anything else. I'm not just going to sit here and bore you and just tell you stories all day. Really, what I want to do is a lot more effective. Is what I'm about to do, right? I want to get you guys to understand the importance of storytelling, more so than just telling a story, right? And it's a lot more effective than what most people do, or what most people think works, like specific tactics, for example. They work, but it's not everything. Specific tactics and strategies. But this training, guys, this training here right now is going to be different, right? I'm not just going to teach you some traffic technique or some secret SEO strategy today. No. What you're going to learn today specifically is how to become more powerful, how to become a more powerful communicator, guys, in this here profession, right? We all chose to be network marketing professionals. Think about that, professionals, right? And what you'll quickly realize as a professional, that once you learn how to become a powerful communicator, guys, none of that other stuff matters. It just really doesn't. And, one thing I've noticed in this industry is that a lot of leaders get in their own way and stifle their own success, right? And what do I mean by that? Well, what I mean by that is I've seen, even with some Fortune 500 companies, guys, is when a leader pops up within an organization or a company for that matter, right? And starts to outshine that company or starts to outshine that set leader or that known leader, in the organization. The known leader or the company owner gets jealous, guys, and tries to stunt the person's growth, not realizing that, in essence, they're really stunting their own growth. And it's a damn shame, right? But that one thing you will not find here in Disrupt. And that's because we've made sure of it. You won't find too many egos, right? That's why we've been able to do such phenomenal things. And I'm not saying that there are no egos at all, right? Because there are, we've seen it. But what I'm saying is you won't find too much negative energy, right? And I know a lot of you guys can agree on that. Another thing I've noticed is that people are motivated in the beginning by money, but that's not why they stick around. Pay attention, right? And I hope you have your notebook out so you're taking notes. I know that there's some of you that just want to make like an extra $1,000 per month that are probably looking at me like, dude, you're crazy. But I promise you guys, they do not stick around for the money. Have you ever seen someone in one company making over 6 figures, resign and go to another company? I see it all the time. But why do you think that is? Well, sometimes they do it for personal reasons. They'll have their own agenda. But most of the time it's because leaders need to be surrounded by more than just money. Right, guys? They need to be in the right environment to stick around long enough. They need to be in the right environment to stick around long term. Usually leaders like to be around people that are smarter than they are, right? So I partner up with people, or a lot of people like to partner up with me because of the online marketing knowledge that I have and that I like to teach my partners, right? And this workshop specifically, this workshop that you're on right now is going to help you become a much more powerful communicator, guys. And one of the things that I want you to understand is that communication is 90% body language, 90% body language, 3% tonality, and only 7% the words that you say. So I want you guys to write that down. Think about what I just said, right? The way we communicate with each other, is 90% body language, 3% tonality, and 7% the words that we say. Guys, think about that. Isn't that interesting? I thought that was very interesting. What's more interesting is that in every transaction, there's a buyer and there's a seller, right? And it's not just business. Even in conversation, listen, I don't care if you're talking to your kids. In every transaction, there's a buyer and there's a seller. It's just fact, right? And the problem is most of you sound like buyers when you're marketing your business. Guys, you guys sound like buyers when you're on Facebook. You sound like buyers when you're online. How many of you are here to make money, right? I know I damn sure am. I'm here to make money. I'm here to make money, and I hope you are too. Most of you are. If that's the case, then why do you sound like a customer? You sound like a customer and not like the person selling, right? So I'm good at telling stories hypnotically, and that's something that I'm going to teach you on this workshop. People say I have a weird yet effective way of telling stories and connecting with the audience. And I've used my storytelling to become a powerful communicator, guys, in business, right? Because this thing runs deep. It runs deep. I've been using this specific formula for about 2 years now, not only in my personal life, but also in business, like I said, and it just works. Believe me, this is the same formula that I use to successfully become a best-selling author and a celebrity online marketing expert, which a lot of you guys know me for, right? I got to a point in my life when I just knew that I had something valuable to share, guys. I just knew I had something valuable to share with people. And in this business, it's important for you to know what you have to offer. It's important for you to know what you have to offer. And at the very least, we all have a story to offer the world, which is a lot more powerful than the horrible, horrible marketing that we see going on every day. It just is. So I'm pushing you to put yourself out there and let people know who you are, right? Let them know who you are only after learning my storytelling secrets. So something that I found to be interesting is that people will tell me, hey man, you know, it's cool, everything that you're telling me, but I don't have a story. And then they'll go on to tell me their story. Like, I find that to be so weird, right? So my goal is to prep you to be courageous enough in this business. Courageous enough in this business. Ask yourself if you're courageous enough to win in this business. Because in order to win in this business, you've got to have the courage to do it, guys. You have to have the courage to step outside your comfort zone and be yourself. So many of you are too comfortable being comfortable. And what you need to realize is that in both life and in business, a part of you has to die to experience change. Write that down. In life, much like in business, a part of you has to die to experience change. Please write that down, right? That's very important. It's very important. A part of you has to die to experience change. For me, that part of me that died was constantly being worried about what other people think. That's what I used to be worried about. I want you to remember that this business is an inside job, guys, just like everything else in life. Whoa. 1 second. Hello. It's crazy. I just went black on y'all, right? That was creepy. So let me explain why that happened. I'm in like a secret location. I can't really disclose my location to you guys. I go above and beyond just to deliver some of this information. So I'm really like in a secret location, and they have these sensor lights, and I guess I'm not in the sensor location. So that might happen once or twice during this workshop. Don't kill me. I'm doing this for you guys, right? It's because I love you. I want to see you guys succeed. I want to teach you guys storytelling, and we're going to accomplish that today. So as I was saying, this business, guys, it's an inside job, right? And I'll share my story with you as an example. All I wanted to do was stop trading my time for a paycheck. Man, a lot of people are in that boat. And I just wanted to spend more time with my family, but I had to work on myself first, right? I had to work on myself, which was an inside job, and work on a plan and be relentless and consistent in my execution for it to work out. Right? And it sounds simple. And eventually I was able to phase myself out of working. My laptop almost fell. But it took time, guys. It took perseverance and hard work. Change isn't easy, but it's damn worth it. Remember that. The next time you think twice about making a decision for yourself, guys, in this business, change isn't easy, but it damn sure is worth it. So work on yourself. Remember, this is an inside job, right? And the first time that I saw how powerful this was is when I shared my own story with a couple of people that were in a similar situation as me. And I shared my results with them. And within about, I would say 90 days, every single one of those guys that I spoke to, I kid you not, I witnessed them finally go on to live their passions. Each and every one of them decided to start doing what they loved. And it's because they heard of my story, of how I started doing what I love, which is to write and be an entrepreneur. All they needed was that little bit of faith. That little bit of faith is all they needed. They just needed to know that it was possible, guys. And that's what I'm trying to elude to you guys today, that, you know, growing a business is not impossible. It's possible, but you need faith. And I'm going to instill that little bit of faith in you, right? Because a lot of people think you have to go above and beyond, and you have to get 100 likes on Facebook, and you have to do 1,000 Twitter shares, or get 1 billion followers on Instagram. And that's not the case. And then you have other people that are telling you that this is way too easy, and they're just straight up lying to you. I'm going to tell you that one of the hardest things in this industry that you'll ever experience in your life is making your first 5K in this industry, right? It's not impossible, right? It's not the easiest thing to do, but it can be very simple if you just follow a set of instructions, right? And use the systems that are being handed to you pretty much, right? They're pretty much being given to you. You just need to listen and apply them. So I want to really drive that home, man. That success both in life, man, and in business is an inside job, guys. Nothing you do in life is gonna matter until you work on the inside first, right? And I know many of you could agree. You could be in the best business with the best compensation plan and the best systems and the best strategies, but if you're not right in your mind, and if you're not right in your heart, if you're not right on the inside, none of it will matter, guys. So how do you do that? The best way to do that is to get in front of the people and help them. You know, I think Zig Ziglar said it best. If you help enough people get what they want, you'll get what you want. I'll let you soak that in. If you help enough people get what they want, you'll get what you want. And I'm doing somebody a favor. I'm doing them a service, and I'm helping them when I sell to them. That's the way that I think about this. I have no issue at all about selling things because I'm helping people. When I'm selling, I'm taking someone through a process, right? I'm taking them through a process that they're learning from me, and I'm confident enough to know that they're going to walk somebody else through that very same process and help them, right? This is about helping people, guys. Did you not realize that yet? This is about helping people and building relationships. Practice what you preach. Practice what you preach, because too many of you are preaching and not practicing. Amen to that, right? Think about it. If you're not being successful in getting results, what other reason would people want to search for you or reach out to you? You've got to be interesting, right? You got to be a cool motherfucker. One of the reasons that kids don't do well at school is not because they can't learn. It's because the teacher is boring. And that's one of the things that you won't find here at LEARNLIFE University, guys. It's boring because we strive, right? We strive to keep things interesting. As if this wasn't interesting enough, having a blackout. There's a lot of things to learn here. So if we don't keep your interest, there's no way you pay attention. So pay attention. And I want you to watch this workshop all the way to the end. You're gonna learn life today. Learn life is an interesting word. I love it to death, right? So when you see people in your business not doing what you want them to do, it's not because they don't want to do it, right? Just like those kids, it's not because they don't want to learn. It's because you haven't effectively communicated that message, man. It's your fault. Take responsibility. Remember, this is an inside job. It's an inside job. It is. What separates the good from the great is the ability to know when opportunity presents itself. So take this opportunity, for example. Take this opportunity, for example. I was in the right place at the right time. Prior to being presented with this opportunity, I did a lot of work on myself through personal development, through reading books, through listening to audios, through a lot of meditation. So when the opportunity presented itself, I took advantage and seized it, guys. You need to seize opportunities in your life and stop allowing them to pass you by. Because some people only get one opportunity in life, just one. And others are more fortunate to get more than one. But if you're right on the inside, you'll never be able to notice them. If you're not right on the inside, you'll never be able to notice them. I listen to audios every day, multiple times per day sometimes, guys. You need to learn to get comfortable with who you are because you are your greatest asset. Your story is your greatest asset. And what I've noticed in this industry is that technical leaders and trainers, they cap their income, right? Technical leaders and trainers, they cap their income, but culture builders can make as much as they want in this industry. Right? Let that sink in. I want you to realize that you're in the right place at the right time. I've seen people that have no experience, absolutely no experience in this industry at all, but bust their butt, give this their all, blood, sweat, and tears, guys, and become highly successful in this industry. They cut out all the bullshit in their lives and got to work, right? They found somebody that they knew more than they did in this industry that they looked up to them because they knew it. They had what they had. They had what they wanted. They found somebody in the industry that knew more than they did and had what they wanted, right? All they had to do was listen and apply what they learned, and they got results. And it's that duplicatable, right? Are you willing to do what it takes to get what you want? Is the question. Are you willing to listen to your teachers, your sponsors, and your mentors? Because it's doable. It's doable, right? What is mentorship? We throw that word a lot all the time. We throw that word around a lot. Mentorship, authentic mentorship, right? And I even call myself a mentor, right? There's nothing wrong with mentorship, but you need to understand what it is, right? So I'm asking you, what is mentorship? It's not being a bullshitter, guys. And right here, right now, you have a platform, a support system, an opportunity to change your life. The speed of the pack is determined by the speed of the leader. And I know you guys want a pack. I know a lot of you guys are trying to build a tribe. You're trying to build a huge sales organization. But what are you doing to get there, right? What are you doing to get there? You need to think about that. The speed of the pack is determined by the speed of the leader. Write that down. And every time that I do a call, every time that I'm doing a training or a webcast, one of these live events, I get better. right? On an emotional level, on a mental level, on a spiritual level. I get better. As I help you, I'm helping myself. Remember, this is an inside job. I'm not doing this for you 100% of the time. I have to do it for me first before I can help others. I need to help me first, right? You need to think about that, guys. Get right on the inside. There's some powerful shit that I'm telling you right now. You'll always run into the same roadblocks in life if you don't understand this at the core level, guys, right? Write this down. There is no competition. There is only collaboration. There is no competition. There is only collaboration. I'm going to blow your minds with another one. Are you ready? Are you ready? Write this down. The body cannot go where the mind has never gone. I'm letting you guys absorb that one. The body cannot go where the mind has never gone. Write that down. I know you guys are liking this. I told you this is going to be valuable, right? Awareness is the secret prize, guys. Awareness is the secret prize, both in life and in business. What the hell is wrong with me today? I can't speak right. It's either that or I had way too much thunder because this is not my first can, right? I was getting ready for this workshop and I was just throwing it back. It's probably what it is, right? Awareness is the secret prize, both in life and in business. I want you to write that down. As you progress in this business, you'll learn that the best thing to do is to take this information and immediately put it into action. Take this information and immediately put it into action. Be a leader and go out there and show your organization that you're going to do this with or without them. Then give them the opportunity to hang around you. This was a big breakthrough for me in my business, guys. Once I understood this at the core level, once I understood that at its core, I was able to do some powerful things. Think about it. I was successful before getting into this network marketing niche. I was already successful before jumping into, a new industry, trying to start a new career, a new profession. I was already a best-selling author. I was already on my way towards becoming a celebrity online marketing expert, which I am today because I've proven myself, right? I got into this industry because I saw how powerful leveraging this industry could be for myself and for others. And I know you guys probably saw the same thing, right? A lot of you guys probably made the same decision because you saw how powerful this industry is. Not to mention that this is probably the #1 profiting industry worldwide, right? I'm proud to say that I am a professional in an industry that profits the most worldwide. A lot of the time people ask you, what do you do? Some people say, yeah, I work at McDonald's, I work at Walmart, I work, in a restaurant, or, I'm a bus driver, I work for FedEx. You could fucking say I'm a network marketing professional and be happy and damn proud of it, right? It's how you carry yourself. It's how you represent yourself. It's being able to stick your chest out, have some backbone, grow some stones, and have posture, guys. That's what it takes. Get a little bit uncomfortable because I know sticking your chest out sometimes is uncomfortable for you, but sometimes you have to do it. Learn to grow some confidence. I understood the difference between just me succeeding and everybody in my organization succeeding too. There was a big difference with just you succeeding and when everybody else in your organization succeeds. I needed everyone to be open-minded in my organization because that's important, right? Most people don't understand what it takes to get people moving and doing things and be passionate about the business. Most people don't understand it, and that's where they run into problems. It's about getting people in an environment that is going to allow them to finally experience true growth, to finally have breakthroughs in their life, getting them in an environment where they can learn from others, right? That's how you learn. You threw yourself in an environment where you believed you can learn from the people around you. You believe that the people around you are smarter, Throw them in an environment where they have support. Getting them in an environment where they can learn from people and have support is important, guys. Get them in an environment where they can be authentic and share their story and not just be accepted, but be wanted and admired by many other people for their efforts, for who they are, for their story, right? If we all just lead by example, oh shit. And give me a second, guys. I'm just going to see if I can get the light back on here. This is crazy. I told you it might happen again. I'm not trying to trip and die. This thing I see me moving. Oh, there we go. I tell you, the things I do for you guys, right? Again, this is what it's about, though. This is what it's about. And although I've gotten distracted many times, you see, I'm working hard to keep my focus, guys. I'm working hard to just get through this because, you know, this is what life's about. A lot of you guys would have probably gave up during something like this because something happened, an event happened that you weren't expecting. But things aren't always going to go the way that you plan it to go, right? That's a real life lesson. Things aren't always going to go the way you plan it to go, but you got to learn to ride the wave. You got to learn to be able to take a hit. Stick your chest out. Take a hit like a man. And if you're a woman, you know, woman up. So I just want you to think about the image that you want to leave, guys, burned and branded in the minds of your audience, because that's very important. Every day you guys are throwing a piece of you out there, right? On Facebook when you're posting. You're throwing a piece of you out there on social media. Every time that you're posting, you're allowing people to tap into who you are. You're letting people into your world. But be wary. Be careful of what you're putting out there, because think about it. People are very judgmental. So you got to think about the image that you want to burn in the minds of the audience. I want you to really think about that. What do you want your audience to envision or remember when they think about your name or hear of your brand? Each and every one of you have a story right now that if you just learned how to tell your story, you can get the results that you want. And I could almost guarantee that. As you start to come to terms with consistently working on the inside job, remember, I listen to audios daily. You know, I watch a lot of videos. I listen to a lot of people that I look up to. You know, it's all part of the building yourself up. You can't grow if you're not listening to people that's smarter than you. And I've said this already. You can't grow if you're not in an environment or putting yourself in an environment where you can learn from the people that are around you to get to where they are, because you want to get there. They have something that you want. You know, they might be performing on a level that you want to perform. Learn from them. Be smart about things. Not everybody has to hold your hand. You're a grown man. You're a grown woman. We're adults, guys. You know, let's act like it. But let's work on ourselves, because we owe it to ourselves, right? Your whole world starts to come alive when you work on the inside job. And people around you start to notice and see the change inside you. So that impact, that the reach and influence that you're going to start having after applying some of this stuff is going to just blow your minds, right? It's powerful, man. Listen, it seems so simple, right? It's a story. It seems so simple, but it's powerful, guys. It's so powerful. And if you've been following the Learn Life University fan page, right? I created a fan page. You guys can just go to facebook.com/Learn Life University, or just search Learn Life University in the Facebook search bar and hit that link, click the like button, you know, tag along, follow, plug in. There's a lot of information there. If you just visit the website, learnlifeuniversity.com, there's just so much information there. You guys are probably so behind on trainings and things of that nature. Not just this. This right here is special. I put this together for you today. This workshop is for you guys, right? It's special. But what corporate is doing is amazing, right? And I tagged along and I'm feeding that information to you guys. You're getting the best of both worlds. You're getting everything. Giving it to you, right? right? A lot of this stuff should be paid for. This type of training, this high-level training, this high-level education, this quality, the teachers, the mentors that we have here, man. You're in the right place at the right time. Take advantage. Leverage our expertise. And it's as simple as structuring your story in this specific order to start, right? Because once you get the hang of it, you can start playing around. But you always want to include 3 things: what it was like, what happened, and what it is like now. I'm going to repeat that. You want to include 3 things in your story. This is important. Write it down. 3 things that you never want to forget. That is in any story that you want to tell. I don't care if it's a fake story. I don't want you guys lying, right? But when you're telling a story, there's 3 elements that are just so crucial to making this all work, right? What it was like, what happened, and what it's like now, right? And I want to give credit where it's due, to be fair. I want to give credit where it's due, to be fair, right? This formula that I'm teaching you guys is something that was passed down to me from my mentor, which was passed down to him from his mentor, which was passed down to her from her mentor, and so on and so forth. Just so you fully understand that this is something that is passed down and has managed to just change my life by the way that I communicate now, without even thinking about it, guys. I don't think about it anymore. It just happens, just like that. And the real power behind this formula is the emotions that you elicit while you're telling your story. That's the magic right there, right? It's eliciting people's emotions. It's about what your audience feels. Their emotions is going to drive their decision making. You need to understand that. Selling is a psychological process, guys, right? And if you've been doing any type of research in business or sales and marketing, doing any type of personal development, you'll realize that this is more of an inside job than you think, on both ends, right? But as the seller, because in every conversation, even in a story, there's a seller and a buyer, right? You got to remember who you are. You got to remember what you're doing. You got to remember who you're talking to and how you want to burn your image in their minds. Like how I wrap that together. There should never be a conversation, guys. Listen, plain and simple, it's like this. There should never be a conversation that you're having with someone that's lasting any more than 5 minutes and you're not sharing your story. If you're having a conversation that's more than 5 minutes, you should always share your story. And that's why I created the formula in a way where you're structuring it to practice telling your story in 3 to 5 minutes. This way you're not stuck there for an hour, because we could talk about our lives all day long, right? That's one of the most favorite things that people like to do, is talk about themselves, their favorite topic. But if you could manage to learn how to fit a story in, right? A short story, your story, within 3 to 5 minutes, that will be so powerful for you in every conversation that you're having, as you're prospecting and talking to new people, right? As your friends are asking you what it is that you're doing now, they notice a little bit change in your life. You're traveling a lot more. You know, you're surrounded by new people, new environment. What's this movement that you're a part of? You can share a story with them, right? You don't have to sell them. This is not about selling what we have sells itself, right? What we have is top notch, guys. There's nothing out there like what we have here in this realm. So don't worry about selling, right? Learn to be authentic and share your story. Let them know why you got started in this business. Let them know how the business is affecting you now. Let them know the changes that have occurred from using the products and the services. This is what people are interested in knowing. And if you could just manage to incorporate your story in that manner as you're talking to them about business, I guarantee you you'll see a huge change in the way people respond to you, right? And that is becoming a more powerful communicator. The secret to everything in life is to set yourself apart from the rest, guys. And by constantly telling your story, that's exactly what you're doing. Who else is doing it out there? Right? I'm teaching you guys something because I want to see you guys win in this company. You're creating your own identity, guys. And to make a real impact, you're gonna have to get clear on who your target market is. Who's your audience? Who do you want to talk to and share your story with? Get clear on this stuff. Who do you want to influence? Get clear on why you want to influence them. Why? And finally, what do you want to influence them to do? What do you want to influence them to do? I hope you're taking notes. Oftentimes in this industry, guys, I hear people say, identify the problem and provide a solution. But I've seen plenty of people identifying other people's problems, and they're not rich, because most of the time, this is gonna hit home. Most of the time, the person with the problem doesn't know that they have a problem, right? They don't realize it. Can you understand that? I know plenty of people with problems. I have plenty of friends that have issues, plenty of friends that are addicts, plenty of friends that are drunks, you know what I mean? Their problem is apparent. A lot of people have issues. Their problem is apparent, but it's not about identifying their problem and giving them a solution. It's about the person realizing the problem themselves, right? How are you gonna fix something if the person doesn't realize they have a problem? They're gonna tell you, get out my face, I'm good. I don't have a problem. I don't need your solution, right? So how do we get around that? How do we overcome this, guys? What you have to do is something that will get the person to suddenly realize that they really do have a problem. You have to do something to get them to realize that they really do have a problem and need help. Get them to realize that their own problem. That's how you sell effectively. Start your story with happiness, pain, suffering, and focus on bridging the gap to a solution. Give people hope, right? I said this before. Show them that if they did what you did, then they'll get what you got. The content of the story doesn't matter as long as you elicit the right emotions, guys. Man, this stuff, man, I'm telling you, as long as you're eliciting the right emotions, then you're gonna get the results. It's an amazing feeling to go out there and realize that this stuff works through practice. And I realized that anything is possible when you step outside your comfort zone, guys. And I realized that when you listen to people that know better than you do, you'll get results. I'm in the same process as you folks. I just am. Recently, a business partner of mine said, damn, Greg, you've gotten better these last 18 months. You've become more open. You've become more honest. You know, I think that's why people listen to you. And naturally, I responded by saying, as I help you guys grow mentally, spiritually, and emotionally, I am also growing. As I teach you all I want to know, I am also learning from you. My story gets better with time, guys, and so will yours. Believe that. Let that sink in. As I drink, what if I told you that we have about 4 more hours? 4 more hours of listening to me talk, just like this, of teaching you guys storytelling, just like this, for 4 more hours. I'm just joking. I wouldn't talk to you guys like that. The last thing I want to leave you guys with is really learning how to speak in I, me, and my statements when telling your story. It's important. I, me, my. I, me, my. I, me, my. I, me, my. It's not hard to remember once you practice saying it like that. Practice telling your stories in I, me, my. Remember, you're telling your story from your own experience, right? You're telling it from your own point of view, from your own perspective. So what happens is people will start to think about their own life while you're talking about yours, when you're talking I, me, my. And this is important because once you elicit the right emotions, you have them in a hypnotic state. And that's exactly where you want them, right? Because once they're in this hypnotic state, what are you going to do? You're going to sell them. And this is going to take practice because for many of you, it's probably the first time that you're being exposed to this type of powerful information, guys. Right? It takes about 10,000 hours of professional practice to master something like an art or a skill set. 10,000 hours. Think about that. So don't beat yourself up. Just give yourself a little bit of a break. But I want you to push yourself at the same time. You know, what you've just learned is going to help you in all of your future endeavors, not just business, guys, but in life, right? And now you're ready to go out there and share your story. But remember, this is an inside job, guys, and it all starts with you. And I want to share my story with you guys, right? And I'm going to take it back to college, man, to be honest with you, because I feel like a lot of people go through this in life, right? A lot of people can relate to what I'm about to tell you. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, man. Let's see if this is the last time. I'll try to keep my story short, but let's get some light first. Woo! These blackout sessions, man. Right? So I grew up in a family where they told me go to school, go to college, you know, you get a good job, and you're gonna work. And the idea is to retire with a pension. You know, I don't know if that's the American dream or what, but like, you know, you're raised right, you go to school, you get educated, you graduate from a good college or university, you go work as a professional, you have a good paying job, and you work this job. And you work this job. And you work this job because you're a hard worker and you work this job. But what if you're in a job that doesn't have pension? What if you're in a job that doesn't get benefits, right? Most people are fed this information and think that this is the way that life has to be, and think that this is probably the only way of life, but it's not. It's not. Fortunate for me, I was able to get through school, even though I busted my butt. I worked two jobs and off the books if I could, to make as much money as possible because I paid my way through school. I was fortunate enough to only come out of college with only about $5,000 in student loans, which is hardly anything because I know people that have upwards of $300,000 coming out of school, which is ridiculous, you know. And a lot of the people that I know were unable to find jobs outside of school. Once they graduated and, you know, bust their butt to get through school, that job that seemed so promising from what we're told in life, it wasn't there for them. You know, it wasn't there for them. And I know a lot of people experience this, man. And it's just a mental thing that we're taught. But with me, like I said, I was fortunate enough to get a job, and I loved what I did, guys. I was a paramedic, right, in New York. I was a paramedic, and being able to practice medicine at the level that I was able to practice medicine was phenomenal. You know, being able to intubate patients, working EKG machines, giving out the type of meds that I was given, doing many surgical procedures in the field. It was awesome, man. You know, getting referred to as doc sometimes because people just don't understand exactly what we do. We're like street doctors. What did suck though is sometimes that nothing against you EMTs, but you know, sometimes we would get referred to as a lower, let's just say, level of the profession that we're in. You know, it's like a doctor being called a nurse or a PA or something. Somebody calling the doctor, you know, a PCA or something like that, a nurse attendant or a nurse assistant. You know, they both work in the hospital, but different levels of work. You know. In any case, I love my paramedic job. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. Loved how I helped people. People were so grateful, man. Were so grateful. Do you understand? I mean, I don't know many people that died and came back, but the people whose lives that I resuscitated, the people that I was able to bring back to life, you know how thankful they were? I gave them another chance at living, at breathing. You know, my hands have saved so many lives. I've touched so many people. I loved what I did. You know, there was no reason for me to leave, but I'm gonna give you the reason why I left, right? What I hated was the long hours, right? I had to work 2 jobs to make ends meet. I was working 20-hour days, 20-hour days. When was I sleeping? When the hell was I showering? When the hell was I spending time with my family? I didn't have any of that. None of it. It hurt. It sucked. It sucked. I loved what I did, but it sucked at the same time. Everything has ups and downs, right? There's pros and there's cons. I was 28 years old living this life. Prior to that, I was homeless. You know, yes, I was working. Yes, I graduated from college. I lived in my car. It happens. I'm alive. I made it. My car kept me warm in the winter with my North Face on. You know, sometimes you just have to do what it takes to get to the next step. Some of you give up too quick. Some of you guys give up too quick, right? And I got tired at this point in my life. I got tired of being away from my family. I got tired of working 20 hours a day. I got tired of loving what I did and having an employer that made me hate coming to work. Right? It got to that point. I was over it. So one day something hit me. Something hit me one day when I was on the ambulance, hearing story after story from the people that I was helping, of them telling me what they would have done. You know, if only they could go back. And it made me think, damn, I'm here right now. I'm not as old as they are. You know, I didn't go through 30 plus, 40 plus years of owning a business and blah, 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 blah. They told me story after story, guys. And what I got from that is don't let time pass you by. Live your passions. So after a few days of, you know, doing some internal searching, I made a decision. And I changed my life. At 28 years old, I finally decided, after graduating college, after working in a career that most people highly respected, after being successful already, I had to make a change, right? And a lot of it came from not just me, because clearly I was willing to work the 20 hours. I was willing to bust my butt and do what I had to do. But what really got to me deep on the inside, guys, and I need you to understand this, for those of you that have families of your own, this is what really got to me, right? At one point in my life, my parents got divorced. And I grew up in my latter ages without a dad in my life, right? Shit happens, right? But I'm a dad now, right? I started to think about that. And how in my life, how much was I in my daughter's life, right? Was I missing much the same way my dad was because I was at work all the time? You know, when I thought about this stuff, it scared me because here I am thinking, I don't want to put my daughter in that situation. That's why I'm busting my butt and working hard. And at the same time, I'm doing just that. So something had to change. And I decided that at 28 years old, I was going to finally live my passion, guys. I was going to finally do what I always wanted to do as a little kid. Oh, Lord. See what I mean? Unforeseen circumstances. Guys, I was going to finally do what I wanted to do. Bear with me. Secret location, all sorts of gadgets are set up. Bam. At 28 years old, I decided to finally live my passion, to do what I always wanted to do as a little kid, which was write. I always wanted to be a writer, right? I always wanted to write books, and I always wanted to be an entrepreneur. And that's exactly what I did. I finally decided, you know, a few weeks later, after several ambulance calls, in between the calls, I would start writing. I would start writing because after every call, I feel like it started to impact me more. I started to develop more of a connection with my patients. And that left room for inspiration, guys. That left a lot of room for inspiration. And I was very inspired to share my story because I remember how I felt reading books when I was a kid. Books like changed my world, especially being an only child. Right? I had no brothers, I had no sisters, so like books were my thing. And the way books had an impact on me. What I realized through books is that like you always remember the stories, right? We always remember how we felt when we read it. We always remember the cool things that the characters did. It was an amazing thing, and I felt that I wanted to impact the world in much the same way. And I think that's much what led me to become a paramedic, is that helping aspect. But I wanted to help in a different way, right? In an ambulance, you can only help one person at a time. Sometimes two, depending on how crazy the situation is. But with the click of a button, right? By being a online marketing expert, a celebrity online marketing expert, I've learned how to tap into the power of the internet. I've learned how to influence much more than one person at a time. And this meant so much more to me. This meant so much more to me, guys. And I realized that once I stepped into my power, man, the things that I was able to do was amazing. And it took time. It took time to realize it. So, I wrote my book in the ambulance. And lo and behold, less than a year later, I was recognized as a best-selling author. Who would have known? Little old me that was always told to go to school, right? Graduate from college and get a job just like everybody else. At least that's the hope, right? Who would have thought that I would have made it from there to being as highly successful as I am now? And I did it going against everybody else because not many people agreed with the change that I wanted. My family didn't agree with me wanting to write and become an entrepreneur. They believed I had no business background, and I didn't. But I was willing to take a leap of faith, ladies and gentlemen, because of something I believed in. And I'm telling you to do the same. Because when you're passionate about something, and you're not living your passions, they're only going to die inside of you. And that's horrible because you have a whole world waiting to hear your story. Guys, and that's all I got for you, man. I hope this workshop was very powerful. I hope you learned something. I hope that you guys realize that Learn Life University is not your average, even though we've had ups and downs already, blackouts and knocked over laptops. It's all part of the game. It's all part of the story. And when you can learn how to accept life the way that it comes and not be a bullshitter, be a cool motherfucker. Learn from others that are smarter than you. Share your story. You'll see some changes. As always, this is the Online Einstein, Gregory Pierre-Louis, your favorite best-selling author and celebrity online marketing expert. Love you guys. Disrupt family. Let's go disrupt the world.